Welcome everyone, this is Renegade Operative and I am doing a first impressions video on Nioh 2, the closed alpha to be specific. I was lucky to get into this beta with a shared partner after he checked his email and got a code and I downloaded the game from him. It's kind of weird how Team Ninja decided not to do a traditional sign up process this time around, but I digress. Nioh 2 felt extremely identical to the first title. I mean, if you wanted to essentially say it's a carbon copy in a lot of ways, then I would completely agree with this sentiment. It's not a bad thing because having that familiarity with multiple moves, techniques, and similar weapons could bring back some meta from the first game and some stuff to remember that you loved about that first iteration. This old dog does have a few new tricks up his sleeve, and that's correlating to the new set of Omeo magic that you can use to status affect various enemies to varying degrees. There's also a new double-handed axe-like weapon that you can use. Maybe it's just me though, but I was a little disappointed that this apparently was one of the only few weapons that you acquire in this game that's relatively new. It's an alpha, so I don't want to be overly negative, although I'd be lying if I didn't say I wanted a little bit more diversity with the core arsenal. The skill tree has evolved to be a bit more cohesive with unlocking skills and techniques you can use. It kind of reminded me of Yakuza Kiwami and how that series used like this giant way of getting all your moves with branching paths as you open up new avenues for defense, attack, and key-based moves because you unlocked a skill tree. You can also create your own character now, which is pretty cool. It's pretty fucking cool. The options do vary between male and female options. There wasn't a lot of customization in the closed alpha regarding this option, so you have to stick to preset faces, preset builds, etc., but they do have like that stuff there in case you're interested. Another new idea they had that I can point out is the idea behind AI revenants that you can summon with a Choco Cups. They're not that great due to being AI controlled. As a matter of fact, they can be pretty dumb. It's a waste of cups on this feature if I'm going to be brutally honest, since I had an experience where one of them charged right in the middle of 6 enemies patrolling one area filled with poison. Yeah, they're goddamn stupid. They're riddled with a stupid syndrome. You're probably going to be wanting to play this with friends over using the Choco Cups for the AI. I just wish that they had some sort of command where you can decide to either let the AI follow you, stay back, or charge into battle and make a perfect distraction. But they still do make a distraction for the enemies anyway, so that's the only reason. That's the only reason you will be able to use them for. They still give you the option to prioritize frame rate over graphical fidelity with the action versus cinema modes. These modes essentially ask you, do you want 60 FPS over resolution and vice versa. It's a nice carryover from the first game, if I'm being honest. Nioh 2 in general looks a lot more cleaned up, a lot more better with the graphics, a lot more crisp, vibrant, and neater no matter what option you choose to go with. Before I move on to my criticisms, I just want to say I bet you're wondering if the game is fun. It still is fun. It still is a good old goofy Nioh combat written time. Yet this is where a few grievances come into play which can open the door to some improvement here. Number one, the stamina system feels like it's a little bit more unbalanced than I would have liked it to be. What I mean is there are those moments where enemies can do 60 or more attacks on you consecutively and you're wondering, why are you regenerating stamina and not getting tired? This means that you're waiting the entire time for them to do a move so you can stamina break them, and it can be annoying if they regenerate stamina so fast. I also felt like living weapon is less effective and more effective sometimes to some degree. I don't even know if that sentence made any reasonable sense. Don't get me wrong, I love how you can do more special moves in living weapon. That's awesome. I just cannot co-sign the fact that common enemies can grab you during this form, during this giant powerhouse demonic Omio Oni form, and they can deplete your health bar to splinters. I'm talking about regular enemies here. The first boss I fought in the first area was alright. He was nothing too special, nothing too bad to memorize his pattern. The second area with the second boss fight almost felt like artificial difficulty peeking through the roof at its finest. Way too many enemies crammed in one space. Omio areas with a sub boss and tough regular enemies and guys with arrows. That stage is like a living nightmare. It just felt like the whole game was out to get you. And while I enjoyed challenge, I'm going to be honest here, it felt like a piss poor representation of the first Nioh with the final build. Enemies weren't spaced out. That level just felt piss poor in general. It felt really challenging, and I love challenge, don't get me wrong, but they need to fix these issues to basically make it good, if not better than the first game, and hopefully produce a better experience. The fundamentals are there and they are high. The flaws just stick out like a sore thumb in this alpha, and it really needs major readjustment. I think that they need more weapon additions to make the gameplay more interesting so it feels more fresh, more additions in general to add to the replay value if it essentially plays very similar to the first game, and they need to fix all the problems with the stamina in this alpha and make boss fights just a little more entertaining, because that second boss fight stage with the snake guy, it was just mind-numbingly, painstakingly difficult, and it felt like something where you need a co-op partner to really have fun with that stage, which it shouldn't feel like. Nioh should always feel like your skills really shine through, and you shouldn't be dependent on your co-op buddy in order to get through areas because they're way too hard. Anyway, this is Renegade Operative signing off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video talking about my first impressions of the Nioh alpha, well, Nioh 2's closed alpha to be specific. Hopefully you really liked it. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments, how you felt about Nioh 2. Do you agree with my sentiments? Disagree? Do you really want more changes to the game? Do you want more weapons? Sign off in the comments below, and I'll try my best to get back to you at my earliest convenience. This is Renegade Operative once again signing out. Have a good day, be good people, and once again, take care.